Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oafdiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me today is Mr. Webb.
Hey, what's going on with you? Let's head on that one.
Yeah, I know. I messed up a little bit on the first one, but we had to start over because audio. That's why. So we are back. Welcome, guys. Hope you guys are having a good time, good week, good energy, positive energy in the midst of all that is crazy and off the wall as everyday life is now in our great country. Hopefully everything is remaining positive. Webb is here with me, of course. Brent is off today. Shayna is off today. They will probably be back next week. We got some stuff lined up with guests, hopefully, that we can get together soon. And we have nice ideas and stuff coming. But as always, as we start off each week, how was your week, sir? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. As far as my week, I feel bad because I haven't been productive in the least bit.
Me neither. It's been bad.
Yeah, because here
I
I was
procrastinating like crazy.
Exactly. Here I'm supposed to be finishing that damn cartoon. I've yet to finish my damn character, let alone the background and all that other stuff. And
right.
I still ain't made up a script as far as what the hell I'm going to be doing with that character to begin with.
That's the hard part.
So yeah, I'm 30 lashes to myself on that one. Or have self-flagellating. Flagellating. Flagellate. That sounds like flatulence is farting. Flatulence is farting. Flagellate is when you're actually whipping.
Flagellate sounds like self-flagellate. Sounds like you're farting. That sounds like hot boxing a fart. That sounds like farting in your car and not letting it out as punishment to yourself.
Self-flagellation sounds like you're farting while also trying to suck your own dick.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Which is just a bad time all around. It just doesn't sound like a good time at all. It's just negative. That's the kind of energy you don't want in your life. Just as an example, as a good example.
Jesus, man.
Oh man.
Jesus. Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Welcome back.
Self that aside.
Right.
I watched a lot of stuff over the past 2 weeks since that mandatory overtime I couldn't show for what would have been episode 70 last week.
Right. Yeah.
But not so much, I guess. I ended up watching the last episode ever of The Strain.
Okay.
Which was that would have been season 4. Yeah, season 4.
And you've been keeping up with it since the beginning?
I've been trying to.
Okay.
At one point, I didn't have cable, so I was sitting there trying to catch up on Hulu.
Yeah.
And then just last year, with Sling or Roku or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with it, trying to watch it live as long as, something else better wasn't on.
Right.
Which a lot of times something better was on.
I always wondered how good it was, if it was good at all, or
It was okay.
Yeah, because it seemed like if you took Blade out of Blade 2,
right,
that was the whole
they kind
concept of the show.
In a way, they kind of still brought Blade in Blade 2.
Wait, so what happened?
There was a character that was a half breed.
Okay.
But he looked almost exactly like the vampires.
Okay.
Only difference is he had his own intelligence about him, like the Strigoi, as they're called on here. Mm-hmm. They kind of have like this hive mind mentality.
Okay.
They're all controlled by this character named the Master.
Yeah.
And he can, if he's not controlling them, they kind of go on and do their own thing, just eat.
Yeah.
And they don't retain their memories of who they used to be unless the Master wants them to.
Okay.
So in this instance, they're all just kind of like hive mind mentality. If they're not hive mind, their only goal is to eat.
Just feed.
Right.
Okay.
So this guy Quinlan, actually, you know what? He might have been the main bad guy that was in Blade 2.
Okay.
Because Guillermo del Toro loves using that guy.
Okay.
Because he was, if it's the same guy, now I gotta look for it too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and look for it while I'm talking about him.
Okay.
Because if you watch Blade 2, I think his name was Novak or something on there.
Right.
And if you watch the second Hellboy, I'm noticing a pattern here. There was this. You remember the White Elves?
Yeah.
And this one that was just super good at martial arts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the exact same character.
Okay.
And Quinlan in The Strain didn't show up until honestly, I want to say the second season
Really?
of The Strain. Maybe I may be pushing. I may just be pushing it just to get a hat trick on here. But
Okay.
no, not Michael Quinlan. The Strain, the Quinlan from The Strain.
So how did this outbreak come to be? Is this like a classic outbreak story? Did it like get delivered, or is it supernatural?
There are supernatural elements to it.
Okay.
But they also, like, the first season, like, they had to do a whole lot of setup.
Okay.
To get it together.
Makes
so
sense.
As far as, like, they had to bring the master to New York.
Okay.
They had to trick this old wealthy person into, like, we'll give you immortality if you help us follow through with this plan.
Okay.
So he sat there and hired this hacker who shut down the internet.
Okay.
The entire internet, all of it.
Jesus.
The entire internet.
This dude's a beast.
She.
Okay. All right.
Couldn't stand her. I
Really?
didn't care for her.
Who was it? Anybody like well known or
no? It wasn't
actor-wise?
anybody well known,
Actress?
or it wasn't anybody that I knew, but prior to this show.
Okay. All right.
So she was all right.
Okay.
Is whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it because a lot of the problems with the first season is that a lot of people still, despite all this build up and like this perfect scenarios as far as this, that, and the other, for people to get killed or for people to sit there and like let these plans fall into place. A lot of it was careful planning, and a lot of it was just reliant on people being stupid.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people making stupid decisions in the first season. A little bit in the second season too. Like third and fourth, they kind of picked up on it. It was just kind of like, all right, no, we can't have. Well, all the idiots were pretty much dead at this point in time, so that makes more sense now. So it's like the smarter people were what were left.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, Darwin Awards, whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's interesting because usually the hacker character, as far as like going back to that, normally the hacker character in a lot of these, as far as TV goes, you think about the hacker character being one of the more liked characters, I guess. The intelligent character, like with, what is it? Oh my God.
Hackers?
No. Yeah, there's that. No, like NCIS or
okay.
Criminal. What the fuck is the other one?
Criminal Minds?
Criminal Minds. You know, I'm talking about like the hacker computer person is like the likable.
Okay, I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
Why am I having trouble finding this motherfucker's name?
I know exactly what you're talking about, especially the
martial artist.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, and then talking about Hellboy.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like,
and
yeah, I know exactly.
So here he was, like half human, half vampire. I guess you can sit there and call it. He's able to he pretty much has a mind of his own. He's able to talk and all this other stuff, and like he just was super speed, strength, and all this other stuff. Like,
so basically the same character.
Almost, pretty much, except if I recall, he can still get hurt by sunlight.
Okay.
But it doesn't affect him nearly as much. Like there was a flashback scene where he was like around even during like gladiator times.
Oh, so he's super old.
Yes.
Okay.
And so how he sit there and bypassed, being in the sun, fighting and killing, was he would sit there and get mud and he would sit there and just kind of
cake it on himself.
He would cake it on himself. So it kind of looked like war paint, and at the same time it was kind of like some sunscreen for him.
Okay.
So that was dope.
I'll take that.
So that character was there. It was all right. Rupert Henry Jones. Thank you.
Okay.
It took so damn long to get this damn name. That was frustrating.
So he's just an actor that looks really good, super pale.
Apparently.
That's he's typecast as the pale character.
That's pretty much what he is.
That's funny.
So the main character who was he was in House of Cards and he was the bad guy in Ant-Man.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Corey Stoll is his real name. I can't remember his name now, but his son, oh my God, I hated this kid.
Okay. And
like each season, you hate him more and more.
Really?
And it's like, I think it was the end of the second season. End of the first season, he did something to kind of piss you off. Second season, he did something to piss you off because it led to a character getting killed. Third season, he did something to piss you off because he was the reason the outbreak multiplied.
Okay.
So he set things into motion to where it was like, okay, New York is fucked now.
Yeah, okay.
And the fourth season, they tried to get him to redeem him. Oh no, he did something to piss you off even more, which led to a character getting killed. I was like, "Oh, you piece of shit!" It was like, yes, this entire time. And then he tried to, and then like, he was just so bratty and just, oh, I'm a teenager, just out of the, fuck you, dad. And it's just,
It seems like a dynamic that's been used a couple times where you have like someone who is in close proximity to the protagonist be such a like be one of the biggest hurdles for the protagonist succeeding in the classic sense of stopping the main problem.
Yeah, and the master, he was pretty much using that kid as like since the doctor or Corey Stoll's character and this old dude that he was a Holocaust survivor who knew this before, who knew what the Strigoi was before it went down.
Okay.
And so he said everybody kind of just gathered together, and so he was the one that was kind of like had the expertise and the wisdom on how to go about fighting these people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the master was using the kid as like to kind of sit there and break the team apart and this, that, and the other. And the kid tried to redeem himself at the end.
Yeah.
But just kind of like
oh god.
kind of like with what the hell is that? Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I don't care.
Yeah. Right. It's at that point where you're like, oh, no,
it's like no, it's like you've done. This is your fault. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late at this point.
It's like thank you, but at the same time, like if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in the situation we were now.
Right. Exactly.
Had it not been for you.
Yeah.
So thank you, but fuck you at the same time. It's like
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
so there was a strain. I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Gotcha.
I don't think anybody really cared at that point.
What was the main character? Was he a doctor? What was he?
He was a doctor from the CDC.
Okay, gotcha.
So and like he kind of approached this like, oh well, hold on, let's not get the supernatural in this, motherfucker. How much more of this do you? He was so
He's
like
right
for
there.
him to be so smart and for him to be so skeptical, like the pretty much pull Scully.
Okay, yeah.
Almost the entire run of the show is like. Fucking go with it. See it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, that's funny.
But he came around to it near the end.
Okay.
So whatever. The best characters was this Hispanic dude named Goss, and best character was Quinlan when he wasn't arrogant, the half breed, when he wasn't being arrogant about his abilities and arrogant about his quest and all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, it's like okay, yeah, you see where you've gotten.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and just roll the team for as much as you can.
Right, exactly, yeah.
This rat catcher ended up being like kind of like the de facto hero of the show, kind of.
Okay.
As just for the fact that he was just like he always came up with clever ways to sit there and like catch them or kill them and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
He kind of
his rat knowledge.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which was kind of like that's kind of like infestation. It's kind of similar.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Him and the hacker kind of hooked up a few times throughout the show, and that just kind of like that kind of dragged his character down a bit.
Oh, okay.
Just because she was kind of insufferable in a lot of points and a lot of issues. Or I'm done with the show. I'm done. I'm done. It's done.
Seems like America is too.
It's done. I'm done with it. It's like I'm glad. Like just bury it at here and there. I probably won't do a review for that.
Right. Okay.
Speaking of shows, I also watched the latest season of Bojack Horseman.
Okay.
And
I've never watched that show.
The first time I tried watching it, I was like, okay, no, this is corny. And then I just stopped watching it. But then I just came back to it. And like all of a sudden I got invested in it.
Okay.
I wish I knew what the turning point was.
Okay.
But all of a sudden it was just kind of going.
Did you pick back up from the beginning and then catch up, or did you just start from where it was?
I didn't finish the first episode.
Okay.
That's the point. It was like, no, okay, nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
But then I came back to it and it was like, oh, okay, then it was like once. After I think it was just after that first episode or episode or two, and then I guess they got their little jitters out.
Yeah,
and then they kind of found their stride as far as being more like a satire plus, like, well, yeah, kind of a character study as far as like, well, yeah, pretty much let's just leave it as a satire.
Yeah,
as far as Hollywood and just different little animal puns here and there.
Yeah.
As this. Taking little digs at celebrities, having celebrity cameos take digs at themselves.
Okay, that's good.
And stuff like that. This latest season, it went. I would probably say this was the funniest and the most depressing episode.
Okay.
And it went from one extreme to another at one point. Not to the point where it was jarring, but it was just to the point where it's just
still on brand.
Yeah, it was still. It was able to kind of swim back and forth between either emotion.
Okay.
Or either spectrum, and Cinder's just like, oh shit.
That seems to be a lot of good shows, especially comedies. They kind of have to skirt that line. It seems to work. When it works, it works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, then obviously you're gonna jerk the wheel too hard, then you're gonna crash and burn. I'm wondering if that might happen with, because I've never watched that show, and I always kind of thought about getting into it because Will Arnett is Bojack, right?
Yes.
So I was like, well, I like him, so I'll see. But I'm wondering if that would happen to me as far as like that kind of coming around on it, because I sit here and I see tweets and memes and everybody talking about it and stuff like this about Rick and Morty. I don't like that show. From the first time I saw it, I don't like. Everybody loves it. Like it's like a lot of people like love it. Yeah. Like fucking up here, like love it. And I watched it like an episode and I was like, it's not that funny to me. Like I understand the first thing, which is clear as day, is the whole Back to Future kind of reference, but then all the other shit that they kind of tie into it, that it's like either pop culture or nerd culture or just culture, whatever.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I was kind of okay with that show at one point, but I think what turned me around was this episode that they had where I can't remember I think it's like Intergalactic Cable. I think it was the episode.
Okay.
And all they did, they sat on the couch and was flipping different channels.
Yeah.
And the first, like, that was, I take that back. That was the first episode I saw of Rick and Morty.
Okay.
At first I thought it was going to be like, this is like Robot Chicken.
Right, yeah.
But no, there's more to this shit.
Yeah.
That was just an episode where they literally was flipping through channels.
Yeah.
And I think the writing room and the cast was sitting there just going like, okay, here's a scenario, or like the writers was giving the cast scripts. It's like, okay, here's the scenario for this channel, go.
Just do it.
And they were it was almost strictly improv.
That's pretty interesting.
And the animators were sitting there trying to find the animators had to pretty much match what was going on.
That's great.
And they even kept the parts where the characters were, or they even kept the part where the voice actors kind of flubbed up their lines.
Oh, that's
They just
cool.
kept it in there. And
That's
it was like, is this, and then like Rick and Morty, or like Morty was like, is this live? As far as like trying to like,
try to keep it up.
Try to keep it up.
That's
And
cool.
I like Intergalactic Cable. It has a very improv value to it. And it's just like, okay, I see what y'all trying to do. But,
okay, that's good. That's
especially the skit, if you get a chance to watch it, the one with called, they were watching a movie trailer called Two Brothers.
Okay.
That one, the guy was sitting there like doing his movie voice.
Yeah.
And then it was almost like he was just pulling it out as much as he could off the top of his head.
Right.
And he was messing up too, stumbling and everything. And then like near the very end, and then he just busted out laughing in the mid, like right when he cut off, but like right when he was starting to laugh, they changed the channel.
That's pretty cool. Okay, that works. I like that because one of the writers he's been on. Well, no, he's going to be on. I think it's actually the creator. He's going to be on that show.
Dan Harmon.
Yeah, Dan Harmon.
Who created Community.
Yeah, right, exactly. And he's going to be on. Either he's going to be on or he's already been on that show. Have you seen that show where they play Dungeons and Dragons, but they animate it?
Harmon Quest.
Harmon Quest. Yeah.
That's his.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. See, that was the thing. Yeah, that and I liked that because I was like, that's a fucking good idea. Like doing D&D and then having to animate the shit.
Yeah.
And I always like that when you have that kind of those two mediums of just like either conversational or improv, and then it having to be directly translated into another medium. I think it's usually fucking hilarious. Like whenever they do like those like flip book shorts off like podcasts and stuff. We've talked about this before. But yeah, and like I think one of the main things, like I didn't like this is so stupid and kind of childish, but I could at first it got on my nerves, the burping and I was like, why do you wipe his fucking mouth? I was it's kind of gross.
There's a few times, where it just looks like he just has this perpetual slob just right there.
Dude, like fuck off. But that was my thing. Maybe I should give it another chance. But
like with anything that's popular.
Yeah.
Like you ain't gotta force yourself to like it, or you ain't gotta force yourself to watch it either.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those things where it's so big though. It's like, what am I missing?
Maybe come back to maybe come back to it if it still ain't doing it for you. Then
I mean, but I fell out of South Park, so I mean, I guess I can't. I mean,
Well,
that happened years ago.
Yeah, as with a lot of people.
But
as with kind of like the same line as Simpsons. And
yeah.
What I'm kind of surprised hasn't happened with Family Guy as much.
Right, yeah. Which is one of those things where, like, it's like I respect it, obviously, for what they're able to pull off. And I was talking to a buddy of mine at work about that. Like, one of the moments I remember, like, because obviously growing up, because South Park's literally been around our entire lives.
For the most part.
Most of it. At first, it was kind of just like, you look at it and you're like, oh, this kind of looks like crap. Yeah. Like you think about just in the back of your mind. But then when you look at it, and then I remember the episode, I think it was the episode after Kanye did his I'm gonna let you finish thing.
Okay.
That of course was at the
fish.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was of course at the episode that happened on a Sunday at the award show. And then it was in the episode on Wednesday. And I was like, how the fuck did they do that quick? Like they did a full episode and like literally like
yeah, it takes it. Yeah, they're able to get these done
7 days there,
within
like the 7 days thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch that documentary, but I can never find it for free.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So there's that.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
So Bojack Horseman. Oh, I watched the documentary on Tony Robbins called "I Am Not Your Guru." Okay. That kind of threw me off as far as it, because like there were some parts where it's just kind of going, oh man, it was like that kind of tugged at your heart a little bit, and there was also some parts where it was kind of okay, this is getting a little too what's the word I'm looking for? New agey for me. Okay. It's like a little. It's like it's a wee bit kumbaya for my liking.
Okay.
On some parts, but and then there was also some areas where it was like kind of going like, wait, that's not staged, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like those emotions, and I was just kind of going like no, maybe I'm just being cynical. Maybe that's just me as far as trying to being cynical as far as watching it. And it's like there was a couple parts, but there was more parts where it's just kind of like going like, okay, I feel that.
Right.
More than there was like I don't believe that.
Right. Okay. So that's good. I mean, it's.
That's as far as watching shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll leave it at that.
Right. Yeah.
As far as listening to something.
Yeah.
I listened to Macklemore's recent album. I think it was called Gemini.
I think so. I believe so.
I regret it.
Okay.
Despite I was listening to it at work.
Yeah.
And I had it on repeat just to make sure I didn't miss anything on it. Mm-hmm. And as I just like, I did not like this.
Didn't like it
at all. I mean, like. And I don't even know why I tried because I don't like Macklemore to begin with.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, as it's been documented on this podcast before.
Yeah.
As far as my problems with Macklemore,
yeah,
or not my problems with him, it's just like I no.
Yeah, it's just
I don't care for him.
Yeah.
And for this album, especially like for some of the songs that he had on there, like he had a track with Offset. That really kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Like if it was just Offset, and someone else,
it'd be fine.
It'd have been decent.
Okay.
And I think what also pissed me off the most was that that was the one where I liked the beat the most.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about production, how it was.
Production wise, like there was a lot of trap shit.
Really?
Like
no,
not like like not that type of trap. I'm talking trap music.
Like gangster shit.
Gangster shit. Trap music.
Okay. See, I was thinking the other way.
No, fuck. I'm mad. I'm so mad that's called trap.
Yeah, it's not. It's bullshit.
It's like, yeah, you want to listen to some trap music? I was like, fuck, you know about some trap music.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's like, here, and turned it up. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And it's like, no.
It's like, no. I can literally pull out trap music by T.I., or I can pull out, I can pull out some Jeezy mixtapes from back in the day, or some old Lil Wayne mixtapes. You want to listen to some trap music.
Right.
Not dubstep.
Last time I heard, there's a man on these streets.
Right, exactly.
Last time I checked. See, I need my shit revoked.
Oh, it's been so long.
Suspended. Suspend my shit for a little bit. Yeah.
It's all. Somebody blow a flag, throw a whistle. I got that backwards. I'm all messed up.
You say blow a flag, throw a whistle?
Yep. Which that's a funny visual. I like.
All right, fuck it.
I like that visual.
If there's anything that's gonna make somebody stop and evaluate what's going on,
yeah, absolutely.
Then yeah, definitely.
He said,
blow the flag, throw the whistle.
Did you just throw your whistle at me? What the hell was that? I don't know what the call is, but yeah. So. Okay, that's interesting though that he went. I mean, it's kind of strange that he went.
Yeah, and especially unlike, I think that shit with him, like, I went to get a moped, and it's like with thrift shop,
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, there's novelty to that. And it's like, hey, he's not like those other rappers that are bragging about fancy shit. Look at him, he's being thrifty. And then for City Can't Hold Us, it's okay.
Right.
And then Same Love and what's up, like my comments where I said to say like he can't really like I don't see any kind of hit of his that doesn't have a black person as on the chorus. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Same Love that she's not black. Like,
no, she's white.
Yeah. Or like not having a singer on the chorus.
Yeah,
not having a singer.
Yeah.
As far as like any of his hits or anything like that.
He was like the Oscar bait version of a hip hop artist.
The Oscar what?
The Oscar bait version of a hip hop artist. With a lot of that stuff, where it was like, yeah, this is clearly gonna like, this is radio fucking juggernaut. Like he knows exactly what he's aiming for. He knows it's gonna be popular, and a lot of people loved it. But it was clear from the jump what it was, its pathway. So it was kind of lacking, I guess, in a way of like,
yeah.
Even though it was trying to be like super soulful or super. Like in some of those, and obviously some of them were just goofy. Yeah,
and that was he kind of ended up like with that Downtown, I think it was called.
Yeah,
the one where he had like like the old school rappers on there. It was like, I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
but no, that was like it was just come on. I didn't care for that song.
Which if he would just and that's the interesting thing. Like what you're saying about this one is, if he would just, I'm fine if he just stayed. Like if he just wants to be that, that's fine. Just do that. Like, just do that. Like, just make that your thing. Like, don't start flexing all over the place. Like, don't like this. The fact you said it's like mostly trash. It's like it seems kind of odd.
Well, I think what pissed me off the most about it was that like my final thing was kind of going like, okay, Macklemore is not for me. Mm-hmm. Whereas like he had like one or two songs, like a part 1 and a part 2, if I'm not mistaken, of I think it was called White Guilt. Oops. Was it called? Well, did he have a song called White Guilt? It was basically that was pretty much the basic premise of those songs.
Okay, gotcha.
Where he was sitting going like, here I am doing music, and I'm trying to pay homage and stuff like that. But at the same time, the color of my skin, as far as that puts me ahead of other rappers strictly because of my skin, and that makes me more popular because of my skin. And then people sit there and parade that around as like, look at him differently because he's different from them. He's not like those guys because he's talking. Well, damn, back to thrift shop. Right. Look at him. He's being thrifty while they're sitting there just like, yeah. Yeah. And he was talking about this coffee shop discussion, or like this discussion he had at a coffee shop with this woman sitting there upset about the protests while at the same time praising Macklemore and him feeling guilty about it and stuff like that. And it's just like, I kind of like this with Same Love. It's like, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, right.
But you're not making me care.
Right, exactly.
As far as how you, because it's
that's what I like.
Because it's more, it's for, I get it. It's your perspective. It's about how you feel about shit. Right. But you're still rapping about certain issues and making it about you.
Yeah. It's like, that's the thing. It's like I can see the path, but it's lacking the emotion or the heart, I guess you could say, if you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I have to articulate this better. No, I think it was called White Privilege or White Privilege, White Guilt. Okay. Which one was it?
Seems on the nose.
He had a track called White Privilege Part 1. He had a Part 1 and a Part 2 about it. Okay. Okay, so gotcha. That's coming back to me a little bit. Gotcha. And, listening to it, it's just kind of going like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. You're addressing the problem, just like with Same Love. You're addressing the problem. Right. But you're not really offering... Solution. What are you going to, like, yeah, what is your solution? What do you propose?
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, well, maybe we should all just get along. It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously. It's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those things where it's kind of, you have to be careful on that line of, especially in this day and age where it happens so often with the internet and everything like that, where you have a lot of people that will come up or tweet or post on something on the Facebook where it's the most obvious thing just because they know it's the thing that everybody wants to see. And it's going to be the thing that's going to get the most likes and get the most retweets or whatever like that. And not to say he has any like ill intentions of basically exploiting the...
Being a culture vulture.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's just one of those things where if you're going to say something, if you're going to have this platform to say something, then actually say something. Don't just state the obvious or the thing that everybody's knows is the good thing. Like, yeah, thank you. I'm glad you said the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody should get along.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of like Dear White People.
Right.
It's like, yeah, the things that you're saying,
yeah,
it's meant for, like, I get who that's meant for, right. But the people it's meant for, that's not going to sit there and reach their attention.
Right.
Because they're upset about other shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like, Dear White People, they're upset. It's like they're upset because of the fucking title. They're not even going to listen to what the hell you had to say.
Yeah, exactly.
After that.
They're
so, like, with Macklemore, it's just like, okay, we get, like, the message you're trying to say is, like, the people that you're telling this to, the people that are actually enjoying what you're saying about this,
yeah,
they get it.
Right.
We know.
Right.
We've, like the intelligent people that you're appealing to, they know that situation. They get that situation.
Yeah.
They sit there and are aiming to sit there and to either better themselves or better people around them.
Right.
What about those people that need that information, or that people that need that education, the people that need to be convinced to your way of thinking, or convinced about why what they're doing isn't what it should be.
Right. And I think that's where like something like Get Out avoided that issue so well by hiding
it wasn't preachy.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very poignant movie about a very specific. It had a specific purpose and a point to make, but it was cloaked in a completely different genre and
put in a way where other people could catch on. Well, not only catch on to certain little cues, like the father's rant about deer.
Right.
If you replace deer with niggers.
Yeah. Exactly.
And other stuff like with your genetic makeup, you could be a beast in the ring and this that, and the other. Mm-hmm. But they put it in a format as far as like a horror movie as somebody being trapped.
Yeah.
Or for lack of better words, kind of trapped.
Yeah.
And they put it to where it's like, okay, anyone could relate to, or not relate to it, but like anyone could kind of understand that situation.
Yeah. Without being bashed over the head with it.
Right.
They don't feel uncomfortable because they're like, oh, here, oh, fucking, oh. like my head hurts because I've been hit 13 times in the head. Like bing, bing. Right, yeah. Like, no, they're actually like sitting there and they're like, what if he's talking about black people? Then like, oh, he is talking about black. Then they have that natural progression of discovery.
Yeah. And even kind of sometimes a discovery about themselves a little bit. It's
exactly.
Like, oh my God, I've been saying that all the time. I didn't realize that was such a taboo thing to do.
It's so funny.
Maybe I shouldn't keep saying I'd vote for Obama a third term.
Right, yeah, exactly. Oh shit, I fucking hate deer. It's like, all right, wait, hold on, wait. Like, everybody calm down, wait. Don't take it too far. Just make sure you understand.
I gotta go, guys. I need to reflect.
Right, exactly. He just walks out, hands in pockets, like playing the Charlie Brown music. Just like,
I was thinking the same thing. I was gonna try to. I couldn't.
Oh man, that's great.
You got me by a couple seconds on that one.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of
that's
music,
interesting.
Speaking of music, you listened to someone that I rather would have listened to
yes.
over the weekend.
Yes. So my week was pretty straightforward. Same kind of stuff as always, of course. But I've actually got something. I'll talk about this first, and then we'll go back. Actually, which one's better? I'll talk about this first since you gave me a segue into it. So yeah, I checked out some of. I didn't get to finish it yet, but I checked out some of Rhapsody's Layla's Wisdom, her newest album. Mm-hmm. And it's been getting praised across the board, pretty much, with very good scores and very good kind of messages about it. Just saying, like, she's not one of the best female MCs. She's one of the best MCs, period. And I can definitely believe that because she's very good lyrically. She's excellent with her wordplay, cadence, all the stuff we kind of look at. And then, of course, she has some of the best production behind her that we've had in a long time, as far as into hip hop through Ninth Wonder and the Soul Council. But yeah, it's really good. It's got like a very clear, I guess you could say, you could just say very clear message kind of clear point where it's not
theme or like
theme. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
that's usually the mark of a good album. When it's consistent with it instead of just being like
and it is, and it's one of those things where at no point do you have that moment. It kind of automatically removes that, at least in my mind, where you're thinking like, man, she's such a good female MC. You're just in your mind, you're just like, man, she's a really good MC, and you're just enjoying the music in general, which is nice. Production's obviously there, so that's a huge for me. I've said that 1,000 times. But yeah, I like it a lot. I hope she continues to just kind of, because she's had this very, not slow, because that almost sounds negative, but this like perfectly paced just rise for years in hip hop. And it's been nice to see, because you've had this progression that's been consistent. Right. It's never dropped or wavered. She always comes out, and when she hits with a project, usually it's very high praised, not just by the audience, but by her peers too, and cosigns from the likes of obviously Jay-Z, Kendrick, like everybody you can think of as far as like top MCs, and obviously a lot of her fellow state MCs like Fonte and everything like that too. Yeah. So it's been a very interesting thing to see. She's definitely somebody I want to see live, and she does. I like, because there's a song on here called Power that has Kendrick on it. And them two pair together really well. Like when as
Complexion.
Far as like, yeah. Oh god, man, she destroyed that verse on Complexion. And I think that was one of, because I mean, I've heard her forever. Like you said, she's been around for so long.
Right, and we've kind of had like 2 Kentucky MCs with ties to her.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And just our background of listening to Ninth and Little Brother, it's been interesting to see, like, following Ninth for all these years, and him constantly like, hey, like, listen to Rhapsody, like she's always there, like with him, and I think that was one of the first. That was like the moment where I was like, yeah, she's fucking, like, everybody get out the way, like she's definitely, like, she's excellent. Was on that Complexion verse because it was so good, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. But yeah, so
I have a correction to make.
Okay, what you got?
For Blade 2 and Hellboy 2.
Okay.
That was not the same character that was not the same actor.
That was a different guy? Okay.
Yeah, that was Lance Goss, Lance Gross. Wait a minute. The hell's his name? I just had it. I just had it.
That removes my whole being typecast as
Luke Goss. Luke Goss.
Okay.
He was in Hellboy 2, and he was in Blade 2, and Death Race 2. And 3. Okay, so never mind.
So he took over the famed Death Race franchise after
a little bit, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so I see his face now. It makes more, That was Luke Goss that was in those 2 movies. I apologize.
Okay.
Any Guillermo del Toro fans that were ready to rip my ass apart off of that.
Right.
So yeah,
that works. Okay.
So yeah, I'm glad I had to catch my L. Yeah, so that's a boomerang. Yo. A boomerang is an L, technically, isn't it? Ain't it shaped like that?
Yeah, it technically is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
That shit, yo.
It comes back.
Oh my god.
If you try to get rid of a loss, it's always gonna come back.
Damn.
Depressing.
How's
depressing?
How's did your week go, sir?
Other than that, like I said, normal work week. But one of the things I was thinking about, and it's something I've dealt with multiple times. That's interesting to me. It's something that it's a hard thing to phrase without sounding not really high and mighty, but like something a white person would say. A racist white person would say. But so I've been to multiple, obviously with my job, I go to multiple shootings, crimes.
It's like that movie Nightcrawler.
Right, yeah, exactly. I love that movie. That movie came out of nowhere. That's probably my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movie, which is not really saying much, but still, it's very unique.
Wait a minute. Well, when you say that's not really saying much.
Well, I mean, it's so, I don't know, because he's not really, I can't name multiple of his movies that are like, woo. I mean, Jarhead's good.
Donnie Darko. Well, I don't care for Donnie Darko.
I don't either. See, that's my thing. I don't.
Thank you.
I don't either.
That's my arguing with Fuquan about this damn movie.
I don't either. Really. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't think of anything.
What about Prisoners? Or is it? Well, really, that's kind of more Hugh Jackman's movie.
Yeah, that
kinda.
is.
Well, they kind of share billing, but at the same time,
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you got Jarhead.
yeah. If you're into Donnie Darko, there it is.
Right. Yeah.
There's always Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh man, I forgot about that. Oh man, I completely forgot about that. Okay, well, anyway, so yeah, I've been to multiple shootings, and then of course you go to vigils and shit like that. And one of the things that I see consistently, and obviously in a state of distraught, I guess you could lend forgiveness to anybody for acting a certain way if they think somebody that they know or a friend of theirs or a family member of theirs has been injured or shot or killed, whatever. But in particular this time, it's one of those things where there's always one. Is the best way to put it. So I was shooting this scene. There was a drive-by shooting in one of the neighborhoods here in town, and I went to the scene and I was just shooting like I normally do. And normally, like especially in certain neighborhoods, like when anything like this happens, I mean, shit, in any fucking neighborhood, when anything like this happens, a large amount of people gather. Mm-hmm. So there was a large amount of people out there gathered, and then there was a large amount of like younger people too. But there was one fat dude, and this isn't the one part. Not they're all fat. It's always just one. He was just very boisterous, angry, just like he just was so. It was just extra shit didn't need to be said.
Did he have a relation to the victim?
I think he did, which is why I was trying to give him a pass, but he was talking shit to me, which was annoying because I had to ignore it because I'm grown and this kid was probably 17.
Oh.
But
when you said fat guy, I just automatically thought in his mid-30s.
No. This was he's probably like 17, 18, I would say. But he was just like going off.
His heart probably feels like he's in his mid-30s.
Oh, yeah. He's probably had a few.
I shouldn't have did that. I'm sorry.
I'll take that.
I'm not with fat shaming.
Right, yeah.
That is also a lie.
Right. So, yeah, but he was like, man, I swear, if it's my cousin, man, he swear, whatever. He said, I'll come back and I'll light this whole block up, man. He said, man, fuck them cops. They telling us to go back, man. Fuck them. I'll fucking spit on the cop. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, why? And other people, like friends of his, were like, dude, stop. You just got back from jail. You don't need to go back, blah, blah, blah. Like saying that. I'm like, why? I'm like, what?
It's the most cliche bounce episode I've ever seen.
Right, exactly. And that's my thing. I'm just in my mind. And then the thing was, like, I was sitting there shooting, and I was by myself. It was just me.
Your camera. Shooting your camera.
Shooting my camera, yeah. I went shooting up the block. But he was like, man, he said, he better not point that camera at me, man, whatever. And then, like, I moved up, so I picked my camera up and moved. He said, yeah, you better walk your fat ass on. So I heard him saying, I'm like, why is he so angry? Like, I can understand you're being angry because your friend might have been hit by a bullet. That sucks. But why is, there's literally probably 50 to 100 people out here.
Yeah.
All around the same age. Why are you the only one? Like, why in those situations do certain people, and I don't want to say certain people because it sounds like I'm just saying like certain like races of people. I mean, in general, this could be white, black, blue, orange, whatever. Why?
I wasn't thinking that, but
why do people always get? I just want to clear it up. Why is there always like? There's always somebody that like feels that need that you have to like puff your chest out in unnecessary fashions that help no one.
There's two trains of thoughts that I got going on here.
Which, like I said, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt because if your friend's hurt, you can that sucks.
I have two ideas, I got two ideas as to why that is. One, as you mentioned before, people sit there and they handle their emotions different ways. In this case, obviously, this dude's handling it poorly.
Right.
As to if that has anything to do with him to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
Which didn't seem to be established from what you've gathered or the information that you picked up on.
Yeah, I mean the only thing like that he was saying was just like because at one point he got on the phone, he was like, "Mama," he said they shot bruh. So I guess he knew him.
No, you didn't literally say. He didn't literally.
No,
say
he said it so good.
No, he didn't. No, that was
no.
Wait,
he said those
shot bruh.
They shot bruh. They shot bruh. No, Mom, you need to come up here. They shot.
I thought you were doing some shit like.
No, he said those words vividly. And I was like,
the story were changed for confidentiality.
Right,
so I thought you were doing that shit. Like, no, it's bruh.
No, he shot,
bruh.
So,
second thought,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
as with any type of tragedy, there are people that just make shit about them.
Right. And see, that's the part that I worry about.
It's like Macklemore all over again.
Oh, God, back to him. Fucking Jesus. Because the other one, and this one definitely is, this was, there's always usually situations where I've seen it happen. And it's something we've seen since fucking high school. There's always somebody that seems to want to make it more about them, or they just go like extra over the top and you're like, all right, whatever. But, yeah, it was just interesting because I'll automatically have to deal with shit like that in general, because usually in some way, shape, or form, I'm probably catching either looks or maybe even words from anybody because I'm the media.
Right.
And we're in that case where like a lot of people think maybe that the media is disliked by white Trump supporters. Like, no. The media dislike from the black side of things goes back from a distrust level and the whole snitching
of a lot of
yeah, exactly.
As distrust with a lot of authority.
Exactly, yeah, which that we get roped into.
Well, I mean,
too.
not media's authority, but
right, which is it's kind of funny because the thing that I found that was also kind of funny is like when I moved up, because one, I was just, everybody was like around me and it was too close. So I just moved up closer to like where the police state was. And then the lieutenant here in town, super nice. I work with her all the time. And she came up and she just like leaned on the car like beside me, and we were just like shooting the shit, like talking. And she was kind of giving me the spiel like exactly what happened and stuff. And like he was yelling like, fuck that cop. If that cop comes up here, I'm gonna spit on him, like yelling a lot, like talking like loud, very loud, where if she was close where she ended up being, they would have heard her. Mm-hmm. Soon as she came to talk to me, everybody disappeared. I turned around and everybody was gone. So I was like, it was just funny because like everybody just immediately like backed up, because it's like I said, it's that immediate like there's a distrust. Mm-hmm. So immediately, obviously, I always keep that in the back of my mind, because like I said, one of the funny thing was this happened to me when I first started at the station. Person we know, you know her very well. We went to school with her for years. When I first saw her after years, I had my news shirt on because I just gotten off work. And she was like, oh, is that where you're working at now? And she was like, oh, okay, cool. She was like, hey, snitches get stitches. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? If I'm there, shit has happened for real. Like, it's a fact. And I'm like, it's just funny. You just see that mentality. So I want people to understand that don't just think that there is a dislike of media and on just white Trump supporters, just because that's kind of the theme right now. That's kind of where it comes from.
Right.
And that has ramped up, of course. But there is a distrust and dislike of the media across the board, usually. Mm-hmm. And it's always an interesting thing because
it's more along the lines of, once it's has something to do with you,
yes,
that's when there's a problem.
Exactly.
You don't sit there and have so much problem. It's like you're all for it as far as getting in on, or some people, are all for getting in on the gossip and the dirt when it comes to like other like organizations or different people or not family members, but different companies or people in certain neighborhoods and this, that, and the other. But once that shit is close to home, and you're afraid of sitting there getting portrayed in a negative light, or someone that you know being portrayed in a negative light, and this, that, and the other. So that's
and that's kind of the thing about it is, I want people to understand that we do news, period. And there's shit obviously in news and everywhere where there's stuff that probably people have biased, or they might shoot something a certain way. Yeah. But I want people to understand
certain sponsors. As we had in that last episode.
Exactly. Or like a reporter might write something a certain way where it curves some shit and it doesn't sound exactly flattering. Mm-hmm. But then, like you were saying, if it's not about them, then they're fine. They're all over. But the thing is, you can go even more specific. If it's about them in a positive way, if they have something to get out, promote, somebody died in their family, and they want to do like a vigil or something like that, and we get invited, they want you there then.
Right.
But it could be on the same person when it first happens. They're going to obviously feel animosity toward it.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like
because
some strangers
sitting around situation.
Yeah, and here we are, strangers with cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I said we, but yeah.
No, right? Yeah, no. I
yeah, strangers with cameras and microphones asking questions while this took place.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that.
Yeah. But and the other part of it is, like, for instance, here in town, both the nighttime photographers, me and the gentleman from 27, were both black. So I want people to also understand that there are diverse perspectives in some ways. Now, not as much. It's at least here. It's something that I've thought about and I worry about because we don't have any. Well, I wish we had more diverse as far as on the reporter side.
Okay.
Because you get more perspectives. But we don't. But we have it on the photographer side. And then obviously, so I want people to understand that there are different perspectives within media. Now, it's going to be different in different places.
Right.
But it's not all white, and it's not all racist, and it's not all negative. And a lot of people who are in the media that are reporters and that are writers and producers are people who are busting their ass to make sure that everything that they do is factual and legit, because they know we know what we have to deal with, especially in a very, very red state. We get it, and we deal with it on a daily basis. But it's going to happen. I mean, it's just the fucking situation that we're in, the country situation that we're in. But
them's the breaks.
Right, exactly. So, with that said, that was all pretty much my week. Work and procrastination.
Okay,
and a little bit of music. That's usually how my week goes. Oh, gaming wise, almost finished Destiny. I'm almost done with Absolver. It's not that long though, but I'll probably keep tinkering around with it because the fighting system is so fucking good. Like, a game is great. They did a great job on the fighting system. Need to finish Destiny. I need to get a raid party together for that. Other than that, just picked up this Divinity Original Sin 2 game. Me and Delia were playing that last night. It's fucking awesome. Great RPG. Yeah. But that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, then. As well, kind of along the lines of your line of work.
Yeah.
You're about
Just
to.
rebuttal for a second.
Okay, just a quick little rebuttal. Okay, then. This podcast has been brought to you by not a damn single sponsor. While I'm trying to filibuster at this point in time with what was discussed, you know what? Instead of filling up time, what I'll do is have somebody else do that for me. We had BTS reply to us on episode 69 as far as his own rebuttals as to our opinions about different sex positions and explaining peanut butter and jelly.
What did I just walk back
his
into?
vote for quickies. And
so funny.
so with that said, let me go ahead and let you hear what he had to say about. Wait. Oh, and the flat doggy. No. Wait, when he put oh and the flat doggy, that makes it sound like that is a.
I love that it was so conversational that he put it in a way where it was coming to him in a single stream of consciousness. And
exactly.
He was just realizing it as it went. That was the funny part about it.
Well, since you're here, let me play that at the end. Let me play his
sure?
rebuttals at the end.
Okay, that works.
And go from there.
That's good. I like ending on something funny and.
Yeah, because on the topic of what you were talking about with the media, this, that, and the other, did we sit there and want to throw that out there as far as Trump, as far as his comments about pretty much him, Trump against sports this weekend?
It's one of those things where it's this is what we've come to expect. Saw a really interesting different post and stuff, kind of keeping an eye on it. Just what people in NFL and sports have been trying to rebuttal with and voice their opinions and what they think is right, and also people on the just general public side, kind of keeping up with that as well too. But I don't know. It's one of those. It's like when you think about the whole Kaepernick thing in general. It's one of those things where both sides, whether you're with Kaepernick or against him, almost both sides are getting fatigued with it.
A little bit.
Where it's just like you know what's right. You know what your opinion should be, back on the Macklemore side of thing. So you don't want to come across and just say the same shit. Like, yeah, like everybody should be treated equally. Thank you, Captain Obvious, you fucking asshole. Like, we know that already. Like, we don't need those words being said. Like, we know that. So it's one of those things when Trump comes out and says this like sideways, very straightforward, totalitarian bullshit. Like I just want people to understand, because there's going to be people on both sides of the fence. But I want people to understand that and stop saying that people are protesting the flag. No. Or the national anthem. That's not what it is.
Or as disrespecting the troops.
Right. Yeah. That is not what's happening. People are protesting injustice, police brutality. That's what people are protesting. Please understand that and stop saying it the other way, because that's exactly the way Trump came across, was saying it in a way where it uses the American flag and the national anthem as a way to kind of push forward his kind of like racist bullshit agenda that he's got. And that's the big thing I want people to understand. Like, nobody's protesting the flag. That's unnecessary. The flag didn't do nothing. Like, the flag didn't do anything. People are protesting the injustice. And I want people, whether you have a strong opinion either way, especially have a strong opinion saying that, like, you're going to stop watching the NFL because you don't want to see all these people kneeling and shit like that.
Or you don't want to watch the NFL because the people are not supporting people that are standing up against themselves, and they have a bullshit kind of hypocrisy as far as giving the benefit of a doubt that domestic abusers, potential rapists, potential people that kind of got bodies on their conscience. Right. You know, so.
Yeah. Like, please understand that this is what people are protesting. And please understand that the whole thing of being able to do that and protest and kneel is exactly what every military person fights for whenever they go to serve our country, is our right to be able to do that. Because we could live in a country where if you did that, you'd be thrown in jail or worse immediately. Now, I feel like some people wouldn't be totally against that, honestly, but I need people to understand that, especially because I saw a very lengthy post from somebody who's in close proximity to me right now on the other side of it. And I got a lot of respect for this gentleman, but I want everybody to understand what's going on, and please take it in and understand it. That especially if I am someone that you have either been a friend with or respected any of my opinions, I don't give a shit if it was on a candy suggestion, then understand and respect my opinion on this. And that this is not a fucking joke. This is not a game. This is not something to take lightly.
Oh, but Gary, you used to be one of the good ones.
And see, that's exactly the kind of bullshit mentally what I would get. Is somebody would think, they'd be like, yeah, just stumbling over your words. Clear your shit up. Come on, man. Yeah, that's my thing. It's just so annoying. It's one of those things that just it's something is not going away. No. And it's one of the things where kind of in my not even negative, but what is it called when you just expect the worst regardless and you just kind of deal with it?
Pessimist?
Yeah, kind of like pessimistic mentality where like people are like, why is he still in office? I don't understand how he's still the president. Come on, dude. Like, I'm telling y'all, this motherfucker's not going to get impeached. He's going to have to kill somebody on live TV for him to get impeached.
And even then, there's like, oh well, hold on, let's let the segment finish out.
Yeah, exactly. And if that person he killed is darker than khaki, we're gonna have some trouble. But yeah, just like please understand, and even the people that are on the other side that are with Kaepernick, don't just snap off on people that are on the other side. unless they're being blatantly racist or being an asshole about it, or like trying to talk down on the people that are protesting, because that's usually what happens. That's what I've seen. That's kind of the ammo that have filled the guns, kind of, for lack of a better word, I guess.
It's like, I just noticed that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've seen. Yeah, on the other side is that, like, this whole thought process of like, you make millions of dollars each year, you use that money to buy cars and materialistic things, and then you have the audacity to disrespect the flag. I'm like, stop. You're focusing on the flag. That's what you're doing. You're focusing on the flag, and you completely are ignoring the point.
And the fact that he's using those millions or that money to help out on certain causes and stuff that he believes in. But no, exactly. we're not gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: a lot of people that I've seen that have posted stuff about that, they're not saying it about Kaepernick. They're trying to use that whole materialistic argument against everybody else who's supporting him, because they know they can't use that argument against Kaepernick, because you've never seen Kaepernick on some balling on a yacht type shit. And even if you did, that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're rich or poor. You can still protest something you think is an injustice.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you spend your money. Like, it'd be the same thing if Trump was super, like, positive and for, like, equal rights. You think I'm gonna give him shit because he's rich? That's why I try not to use that against him now. Because that's a very flimsy and a very easy argument. Oh, he's rich, so he's racist. Get the fuck out of here. That's a stupid argument.
That would explain a lot about Batman.
Oh, man. Oh, this was a funny, now this is kind of funny, lighten it up type fact.
What fan theory you got?
No, apparently there was an agreement that he used to have. I don't know if he still does.
National Batman Day was yesterday. I forgot to include.
Oh, shit.
That just now clicked. But go ahead.
I didn't think about that. So apparently he had an agreement originally that if a movie wanted to shoot anything in a Trump Tower building, he had to be in the movie at least some way. But basically it was one of those things where he had to basically like have a scene to be filmed that he would be in. So I forgot what the movie was. There was a movie with George Clooney where they because Matt Damon was the one. Matt Damon, or was it Ben Affleck? I think it was Matt Damon. Was the one that like came out and said it, like, yeah, he was shooting a movie with Clooney that they had to shoot a scene in like Trump Tower. I forgot what movie it was, but he basically came out and said like there was this whole day where they had to like wait for like 2 hours for Trump to come down and shoot this scene. And it was basically just like Trump was like, "Hello, I'm Donald Trump. Hello, George Clooney." And that was basically the scene. And that was it. And they didn't use it, but the joke is that apparently on the Home Alone movie, they just left it in for some reason.
That's what I thought you were going to bring up.
No, that's exactly what it was. It was like everybody who's had to do this just throws the scene away because they're like, "Oh, fucking put that shit in there. It's a bad scene." But for some reason, in Home Alone, they was like, "Fuck it, we'll leave it in." Maybe because it was early enough. It was long enough.
And that second movie, I mean, there wasn't. Well, I mean, let's be honest. That second one didn't match up to the first one.
No, of course not. Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna hurt anybody's feelings saying that.
That's a good movie.
No, it's not
but
terrible.
The first one's like out of the park.
It ain't terrible because that's my childhood. But no,
right, exactly.
But no, it's not fucking with the first Home Alone.
But yeah, that was a funny factoid that came out this week. I thought that's pretty funny. I like that because it totally sounds like something he'd do.
I'm kind of surprised that Batman sparked your memory of that,
because I thought about George Clooney as Batman.
Oh,
which is probably not the thing I should do too much.
Hey, Mr. Freeze, I'm Batman. That's probably why, because that was an actual line in that damn movie.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Hey, Freeze, I'm Batman.
No, bro.
All right. And it was right when he busted out from the ceiling, too. Yeah, he busted out from the ceiling and landed. Everybody looked. It was like, hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. All right.
I'm glad we got the pleasantries out the way.
Okay.
All right, good.
This is the most formal Batman I've ever seen.
Exactly. Sure, you can't fit a bow tie around that fucking nose,
I mean, with
sir?
Michael Keaton, he at least had to be. People at least had to ask him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, who are you? I'm Batman. And then threw the guy out and then jumped off the damn roof. It's like, okay, he made a fucking exit. George Clooney made a fucking entrance.
Yeah, exactly. He made an entrance about it. He's like, I think this might be more awkward because I have to like introduce myself. I don't know how we're gonna be able to pull that off in a cool way. He's like, just say you're Batman. Is that gonna work like Keaton's on?
And honestly, I like Batman and Robin more than Batman Forever.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, like, I think that's a safe opinion to make too.
I think it is. Yeah,
everybody shits on Batman and Robin so much, but Batman Forever to me was worse.
Yeah, it was bad.
And even then, as far as calling these movies terrible, when Joel Schumacher sit there and like had them, I kind of imagine them kind of like a theatrical version of if Adam West was still in his prime. I could definitely see those movies being like that. That
would be what it would be.
And also, there was like some sort of theory. I don't remember if it was a fan theory or if it was presented in a certain way where everything like compared like to Michael Keaton. Like, granted, things looked like they were on set. Yeah. But it still looked like a city.
Yeah.
But with Schumacher's Batman movies, those two, they look like sets.
Yeah.
And they stay looking like sets.
Oh, yeah.
So, in my opinion...
It was like watching a bunch of Saturday Night Live skits.
This was presented... in my opinion, this was presented as like a television show as a movie.
Right.
And just kind of like, as far as like, no, that's not really Batman. That's just somebody playing Batman.
Right, exactly.
Val Kilmer as Batman.
Yeah.
George Clooney as Batman.
Yeah.
And especially for it to be as campy as it is, like that's, I guess that's the best way I can put that in my mind without having to repress that movie.
Yeah.
So it's not, Batman and Robin was like, it was bad, but those Pop-Tarts were dope as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's probably what edged it out over Batman Forever.
How good was the merchandise that came along with it? You could save your movie this way. We'll figure it out. It's fine. That's funny. I like that. Yeah.
There's that.
Absolutely.
So fuck Trump, as YG said.
Yeah, always.
Here, let's end it off of this on a positive note. So BTS replied to us about our responses to his questions and his theories and his answers
from our 69th
episode 69.
Yep.
And I think I found the first one.
Okay.
And this one is this email is titled "The PB&J Officially Described." All right, I didn't get a chance to see how long these were.
Now, for the listener, what we're going to do is we're going to actually play these through the microphone in the mixer, so that way you guys can hear them exactly what he said to us.
Your boy BTG. Now look, first of all, the way y'all read off my email, that shit had me tearing in the car. Like, I was literally crying. I swear it sounded like a goddamn Surgeon General commercial. The way you read it off fast, that shit had me crying, because if you read it fast from top to bottom, this shit just sounds weird when you get to the bottom of it. You know, you go from, you go from cowgirl to peanut butter and jelly off top. But look, no, the reason why it's called peanut butter and jelly is because it's the laziest position in sex, okay? It was missionary. Now, missionary is not bad. It's very underrated, but you want to know why? I'm going to get back to peanut butter and jelly. But the reason why missionary is underrated is because it's like a plain sandwich. You got 2 slices of bread. Damn, we back to sandwiches again, huh? Okay, but you got 2 slices of bread. You got some cheese and you got some meat. Pause. That's missionary. You gotta put some fixings on it. You gotta add shit to make it great. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta throw some shit on. You gotta throw some tomatoes, some pickles, some onions on there. You know, you gotta Subway it up. You know, that's why missionary is underrated, because you gotta add shit to it. Now, back to peanut butter and jelly. The reason why I named this peanut butter and jelly is because you can never go wrong with peanut butter and jelly. It's quick, it's fast, it's good. And it's also a safe word you can use in front of the kids and in front of people in general. And they don't know what the hell you're talking about. You could be at a business dinner party and you could look at your wife and say, peanut butter and jelly? And then everybody like, oh, I love peanut butter and jelly. Like, it's a kid's favorite. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about slutting it out as soon as we leave this dinner. I'm talking about putting, this on. I'm slapping my wife in the face with the tools. You know what I'm saying? No domestic violence. So that's why it's called peanut butter and jelly, because one, you can have peanut butter and jelly anytime you want to. What I mean, you can eat it anytime you want to. That didn't sound right either. And it doesn't matter which side it's on the jelly side or the peanut butter side. I prefer the one bread peanut butter and jelly. And what is that? That's when you just you know, you got peanut butter and jelly on one piece of bread and you fold it. That's when your wife's legs is up in the air and you just land on the side of her sideways but kind of down some because you're trying to get in there deep. That's peanut butter and jelly with one slice of bread. Yeah, I know it's weird shit, but don't judge me. Shit, it is what it is.
I have never been so
That's phenomenal, man.
hungry and horny all at once.
I know. Exactly. It's so funny, man.
Yo,
I like how you turned it into basically the coffee conversation from Luke Cage.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Shout out to Baylor the Great. I kept saying BTS like behind the scenes.
I know, I like that. Yeah. Now, this is behind the scenes because we're getting some inside baseball type stuff. But speaking of which, a little bit on side topic, did you see where now they're selling Luke Cage condoms called coffee filters?
Yo.
Yeah. It's a gold wrapper with the Luke Cage logo on it, and then it's just called coffee filters.
I have no use for them now, but I get them just to be on this, just to have them, collector's item.
I know, absolutely, yeah.
Fuck it. And the flat doggy, he says.
Okay.
Oh, and before I forget, so the flat doggy style it's kind of similar to the froggy doggy, whatever you want to call it. But no, mine is a little bit different, okay? So I'm not squatting in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not squatting on the bed or whatever. She's laying flat down. So flat doggy is like her laying flat down, but her right or left, whichever side you prefer, left or right leg is kind of hiked up away or pushed up a little bit. And then you have one knee in the air over that leg. It's kind of like you're kneeling after you catch a punt or whatever, but she's under you or whatever. And that's the flat doggy to me because it's more dominant. It's more dominant. You know what I mean? I wish I could draw it, but it feels weird drawing it for guys or whatever. So pause everything about this, but it's definitely like a kneel thing. You know, I have my right foot over her right leg, but her right leg is kind of like she's laying like a dead crime scene, right? And her right leg is hunched up or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if I described that right or not. I don't know.
All I can say,
that's phenomenal.
Trump wouldn't approve that position.
No, I was about to say we're gonna call it Kaepernick.
That son of a bitch position.
Call it the Kaepernick. Oh, that's amazing.
He got one more.
That's great.
And this is his vote for quickies. As you remember, like we all were kind of.
We all were kind of.
It's like compared to.
We weren't against quickies, but we didn't think they were the best.
Right.
As adamantly as he does.
Let's see how that goes.
Yep.
Oh man,
it's phenomenal.
We need him on here.
Yeah.
As my potential VP, you said I was wrong on the quickie versus regular sex. I counter. The reason why I said quickie is you gotta look at the definition of quickie. It's not just you getting one off real fast, or you are just jumping right into it. But that's not just it. We're talking about anywhere. You know what I mean? It's like a relief, a quick relief that'll just get you right for the rest of the day. Hey, if that quickie is done right, you cool for the rest of the day. Okay? And another thing is, you compared it to Thanksgiving food, a fully cooked meal to microwave food. Brother, no. A quickie is definitely not a microwave food. A quickie is fast food. You're right. It's probably not as good as a home cooked meal, but when you want to go out there and get you like a filthy ass burrito with shrimp or whatever you want to put inside your burrito, or just a filthy ass pastrami burger with cheese and all kind of heart attack fixings on it, bruh, there's nothing better than that. Like, you have those Friday nights or those Saturday nights where you going home and you're like, I don't want to cook. I just want to get something real nasty, something real crazy. Yeah, that's the same as a quickie. That is the exact same thing as a quickie. A quickie is getting your issue out of the way real quick. We're not doing no romance. We're not doing no foreplay. We just pulling panties to the side. First of all, that's the most underrated sexual thing ever, is pulling those panties to the side. Like, that gets her warmed and that gets her fired up anyway. She pulling them panties to the side. Ooh, man, let me tell you. Pulling your panties to the side says quickie anyway. Quickie is pulling your panties to the side. Let me get that. Let me get that number 6 with extra cheese. Vote for
me. That's amazing. Oh, God.
That'd have been even funnier. That'd have been even funnier if he sit there and said, "Let me tell you something," and then it cut off right there.
Right, he had to stop.
But no,
That's
okay
amazing.
then. No, I
great.
can't argue with that rebuttal. I cannot argue with that rebuttal. But no, wow.
That's great. I mean, that's exactly,
awesome.
yeah.
Shout out to BTG. Shout out to Baylor the Great.
Yeah.
Baylor the Great.
Please, if you are listening right now and you can come up with anything even remotely to that quality level as a rebuttal to anything that we talk about on the show, we will have to do the same thing. But you got a high bar that has been set right now. So
if you want a nasty ass burrito with shrimp in it.
With shrimp in it.
Oh God.
Oh God. We need to start designing t-shirts. I need a t-shirt that's just like a burrito with just like a shrimp.
A shrimp,
just one. And just beans.
Oh man.
So random. That was excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
100%. Man. Guys, thank you as always for coming to hang out with us each and every week to give you all of the crazy not really news, but topics that you know and love. Our situations that we are in, our life situations that we like to share with you guys. Our weeks, our craziness, our happy moments, our angry moments, love, and everything in between. You can find us at Oafdiscussions at gmail.com. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think. Drop us a topic. At Oafdiscussions is a Twitter. Follow that. Let us know what you think. Tweet us. Use that at. We should start using... we start doing hashtags every week. I don't know what to do for this one. I'll figure something out. Facebook.com/group/Oafdiscussions.
Blow the flag.
Yeah, that works.
Blow the flag or throw the whistle.
Blow the flag or throw the whistle. Yeah, if you do those, we'll find it. Facebook.com/group/Oafdiscussions. Join that group. There's a lot of good people in there. You can talk, say what you want, talk shit, talk about any topics. Let us know what you want us to talk about, or drop a line, topic idea, show idea, anything like that. I am at K and Kid Swift on Twitter. Webb is at
Webb859 on Twitter. Webb.859 on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Shayna is at Shayna MB and Shayna MB on Instagram. Brent is at LOCoolB22 on Twitter and Legendary Shogun on Instagram. You can follow those. Also follow Jacob. He is at Jake_688. But of course, you all know how that goes. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks again to BTG for that hilarious insanity and those perfect answers. We could not have done this without you. We appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Deuces.